Hello everyone, my name is Saokosal. Today I will continue our lesson about how to upload an image to a server. In this lesson, I will talk about how to encode an image to a Base64 string. In case you don't know, you cannot upload a physical file from Android to a web server. Instead, you have to encode that file into a Base64 string and upload that string. You can write your own library, but I just created a library for you. Just use mine here. And then you need to know how to connect Android with PHP and MySQL. It's not strictly to PHP and MySQL. You can use your own language. In that, I use a library, acting task. You can just use volley if you want to do a multitasking. But because I created a library for myself, so I just stick with that. And lastly, I will teach you how to write some code in PHP to upload that file and encode that file into the physical file. Okay? If you have any question, you can contact me on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Because this is the part 2 that I continue from part 1 here. Go to YouTube and find this one. And you can go to my YouTube channel and you can download the source code over here as well. In this lesson, you need two libraries. One is PhotoUtil from my GitHub, Gusal Gig. Just download the zip file. And the second one is Generatic Async version 2. You can just use Volley if you want to instead of my library here. I think I downloaded already. So this is the file. So just copy that. And this is the source code from the previous lesson. So I got photo util already, so I just pass this new one. And then right click, add as library. Okay, you can go back to Android and double check here. There is Gen Axing 1.2 here. Okay, so this is the previous code, so just run it. So the last example, we knew how to get an image from the camera and click it, and then we can get an image from a gallery here as well. So now it's time to upload that. So first you need to encode that. So in the layout here, I have 3 buttons. This one is camera, gallery, and upload. So we're gonna make a new one for the upload here. So the image view. So upload, set on, click listener, new, draw space. Okay, right here you want to get the image here. Okay, so you don't want to get a bitmap because maybe you want to get a better quality of the image. So this is just for the showing. Maybe you don't need the bigger one. So in this case, I think I have to declare a string, and I just call selected photo, and then right here when you get the photo path, I will assign it to selected photo here, and over here as well. Okay, so now you get the file name, so you can do something with that here. So I want to convert to bitmap again. So bitmap, use my library, image loader, init from selected photo, and request size here. Maybe you want to scale up a little bit because you are ready to upload that, and it needs try and catch here. So maybe I need a toast here. Okay. So now I want to encode that bitmap to a string, so I call it encoded image. Yeah. So at this time I will use another library, image base64, which is the part of the photo util, and then just use the encode method bitmap. Done. Now you can log that string. Okay. Okay, so let's use the camera first. Okay, so click it. Now you can see this is the encoded string of the image. Okay, so instead of sending a physical file, now you can send this string, and then into the PHP you can use a function to encode that string into the real physical image. Okay, so let's try the gallery file here. Okay, so this is another file name. Okay, now you know how to do the encoding. This file is part of my library. So now you want to connect to PHP. So that's why you need another library, the genxing. So now you need a PHP file before you can connect to that. Okay, so let's go to htdoc. I use them. Okay, make sure you are running your Apache web server and the port is 80. If you use another port, make sure you use the correct URL. Okay, so htdoc, right click, new file, new folder. Actually, for Mac you need to provide security there. So let's call it just new. Okay, and right click, create another folder called upload. So for Windows, I think you don't need to do much on that, but for Mac and for Linux, you need to do the mission thing, you know. So this one is read only, it's okay now, but for the upload, you need to change to write and read here. Okay, you can just change it with the ch mode 777, but there is an interface for that, so just use that. Give a password. So read and write, and make sure the enclosed file has to be read and write too. Okay, and close it. So now you are good to go. You can upload any file to this folder. Okay, so I need to create a PHP file here. So I call upload PHP. Okay, you don't need any HTML for that because it's just for the example. So first you need to check if the image is exists or not. So I'm sorry, post We will send the data by post. So I call the key image like that. If it is in here, you're gonna do something with that. If not, you just echo for image not in, you know, for our testing. And here, if the file is in, then you want to upload that file. And remember, the file has a name, right? So let's create a name, but the name must be unique, right? So let's just call ID, and you need maybe a time. The time is better because time is gonna be very different from one to another, and we're gonna use the millisecond. Okay, maybe change to now, and the ID is now, and minute, second, and microsecond. It's like that, so you can get a unique ID for the file. And then you need a folder, so upload folder. In this case, we're gonna use the upload folder here. And then the image you get from the post. Remember, the file here is just a string, right? It's not a real file, so you need to decode it to a real physical file. So the file needs a name, right? So you need maybe path of that, ID, and the file is byte. And then you're gonna need a method file put contents. Okay, and the first one is path, and the second one is the image. But remember, the image here is just a string. You cannot make it as a string and then convert it to an image. So we need a decoder. So simply just call Base64 decode. That's all. Then you can just upload to the file. But then you want to test it if it is correct or not. And remember, when you upload that, the result cannot be true. If something true, is a file, it's a number, because the return value of this is a number. It's like, I don't know about that, but maybe like 1, 2, 3. So it's not gonna be true. So if you test it like this, you cannot get the result. Okay, so make sure you have to do like this. If not false, it means you uploaded successfully. So I just call it uploaded success, and you want to exit that. Else, if you cannot upload that, maybe upload it well. Okay, okay, that's all. And before you can connect from Android, you have to make sure that you can connect from your emulator. So go to home and then go here, HTTP, because you connect from the Genymotion, you need alias like this, 10.0.3.2. If you have a port like 8080, you need to provide the port. For me, I just use the 80, so I just use the default one. And this one is new, and upload it, and enter. And you can see the image not in, very small here. But at least you can see that you can access that from the emulator. If you cannot access that, I suggest you go to internet and Google something like XAMPP access forbidden, or maybe you are using WAM, you can just WAM access forbidden. Okay, and because I got a lot of problems from readers, from users on YouTube, so I think I have to point it out. So you have to go to, for them, I think you go to config and you go to open config file, yes, and around here, make sure you have the require all granted. Okay, if denied, then you cannot access from your Android. Okay, and one more thing, this one is that you connect from your Android emulator. If you connect from your phone, then you have to provide the PC IP address. For Mac, you can go to Wi-Fi here, open, and then you can see the IP address here. For Windows, I think you can go to network over here, or maybe just go to CMD command prompt and type ipconfig, and you can see the IP address. And then you have to make sure that you are using the same network, okay, and make sure you can connect it from here first. Okay, so now you are ready to work with Android, connect to the PHP. So this is what the uploading here, and then you will call post response action task. Is a part of the new library I just added, the gen action, and call path new post action. So at this point you need three parameters. One is the context, so you're gonna get the get application context here. The second one is the data, so you need a hash map here. Hash map, you can declare string fine, and I just call post data new hash map, and then you want to put the data here. In here, you have to make sure the first parameter has to be exactly the same to this one. Okay, so if you change this, you're gonna change here as well. So now I use image, okay, and the capital, the small letter must be exactly the same. The second one is the encoded image, okay, and it's gonna be string because you encoded from the file to string already. And here, post data, and you need the result back, so we'll use another anonymous class that's called new, control space, then gonna be another anonymous inside anonymous, and don't forget to call execute. Okay, so the IP here must be the alias one. And again, if you want to connect from your phone, then you need to change this to your PC. Okay, it must be the web server IP address, not your phone address. It's a web server. And the port, if you have the port, change the port like that. So mine is new and upload PHP. And I just updated the library, so you can now handle the exception better. So here you can handle each exception. So you it's gonna have 4 exceptions, and you can handle each one. So okay, and then here in your process finish, you can get the result. So remember the result is from here. from the echo here. So if your result is upload success, it means you upload to the file, okay, successfully. So if as, and I would not use the equal because mostly they're gonna have some space, you know. So I just use contain, and the word here must be uploaded success. Then you can say maybe false. Fully, okay, and else, then loading. Okay, so let's see. We open the file, and if you can upload it, you will see this the image in here. Let's try the camera first. Upload. Oops, there's some error here. Check it out. What is it? And here, I'm not sure that this one is correct, so let's change it to main activity.this. Okay, one more time. Upload. Yes. Oh, there's some error here. So what is going on? I have to delete this. Okay, I found the problem. Actually, I forget to add a permission to use the internet. So over here in Android manifest, use this permission internet. Okay, so okay, uploaded successfully, and you can go to use upload. Boom. Yeah, this is the file. And one more time with the gallery here. Yes. Okay, successfully. And the image size here is big because when we upload, we don't upload the file 12, but we upload the 1024 here. So it's gonna be good quality. But one more problem if you don't see that, when you do the capturing, it is in the portrait and like this. But when you open it, it's in the landscape mode. So we want to rotate us like that. Actually, there is a library for that to do the fixing, you know, over here. You can go to 9 or E exit util to check out about this. But because you want to just rotate it and rotate it just for the capturing, so I will write my own method here, just a quick one. So I will use private bitmap rotate get rotated bitmap, and you want to put the bitmap in and bitmap, and then you want to rotate it, so must be angle, okay. And then you want to call a matrix, new matrix here, okay. And matrix post rotate, yes. So this is a float, so not integer, and angle, and then you need a bitmap. Yes, maybe. And bitmap, create bitmap. This one you need to use the second one. So the first one is the source. So it's a source from here. Let's call it source. Okay. And the second one is an X and Y. If you are not sure, maybe you can go here. This is the method to create a bitmap. X, Y, width, height, and matrix. This is the one to rotate. And filter should be true. So we don't want to, change the position. So 0, 0, and the source get width because we want to get the width, and source get height, and true. No, matrix, and true. Okay, return bitmap 1. Okay, around here, so you want to change the camera, so get rotate bitmap, and you want to change to 90 degree. Okay, and one more thing, when you don't have any image and you click on the upload, there will be an error because there is no string here. So let's check it over here and here. Okay, so just if selected photo, nothing, or selected photo equal now, then you want to say, okay, so if there is no image, then you can just say no image selected. So then you want to return that. Return here means that you exit from this event. And then the last part is not necessary, but for your testing, sometimes you want to test from your Android emulator, sometimes from your phone. So then I want to have a text, and you can just put the IP address because the network different, then the IP address is different. And I call it ETIP address. And I need to give a default number is 10.0.3.2. Okay, and then over here I need to get the data, so let it outside first, the text. Okay, something like this. And then when you upload around here, there will be some change, so over here just call IP, get from there, so I use this IP instead of the number. Okay, so then I can test from my phone and from my emulator easier. So maybe I need to change the position. One more time, yes, because the now should go first, and because if there is now, then it's exit, because it is the double line. If you use that, it's gonna run to this, but the double line here is gonna run this. If it is null because it's all, then it's just exit that. So then you need the IP. Let's say I change the IP to like this. Upload. Upload it. So what is going on? Or maybe some like this. Can Okay, now maybe the last part is the same. So you can see now the IP is in, and change to the correct one, and final test, upload, yes, one. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you enjoy it. So if you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel, and I will see you in the next future. Thank you.